Show.
First frame, Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
Always huge expectation when Ronnie takes the table. He did beat Michael Georgiou last year in this event. I can't remember if it was 6-0 or 6-1, but obviously he was very comfortable, so what has Michael learned from that? I've just been reliably informed it was 6-1. Well, not a bad cue ball, but that wasn't the plan, to put this red over the right corner pocket, but you're always under so much pressure to pot these.
Yeah, this is tough because there's no real advantage unless you could force the cue ball back up the table, but in doing that made the pot a lot harder. It's a pretty low percentage shot. Was forced to play it though. Tough to get on the colour from there.
In an exhibition, you might be tempted to play a topspin banana shot, wouldn't you, for the black in the same pocket, but I don't think the UK Championship that will be played. Instead, play to develop the black.
One.
It's on. Well, Steve, it's the first frame and he's only scored 8, but he couldn't put the reds in a much better position.
Go away.
8.
Well, there's not many players in the game when you've watched them from the commentary box who seem to settle down so much quickly. But you wouldn't put it past Ronnie O'Sullivan to make
16.
Obviously a frame-winning break, but
17.
a large century.
Yeah, the strength, you know, many strengths that Ronnie has as one of the best players in the world is the first frame and the last frame are the two that he seems to play his best snooker. The first frame he can settle in straight away, and then when he has the frame to win the match,
24.
he can close it out very easily.
25.
May not go into the main bunch here, may can in the red that's just to the right of the bunch. That was always going to be the problem with that shot going into the main bunch.
Yeah, he got just a little bit thicker on it than he perhaps wanted. Perhaps a half-ball collision would have produced better. It isn't easy. Oh, made that look easy.
33.
Awful contact there. Took all the spin off the cue ball.
37.
Well, that wasn't Ronnie O'Sullivan's fault that that break came to an end so soon.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 37. 1.
Two attempts at long pots look like costing Michael Georgiou this first frame. I'd be shocked if Ronnie O'Sullivan doesn't win this first frame from this position. It puts such pressure on these players' long game.
8.
It's the first one. You know, whenever you miss, it could cost you the frame.
Yeah, not
9.
saying it's a cueing fault, but both those shots were missed to the left of the pocket. No player likes to have a sort of slice or a hook in their game.
$16. 17. 24. 25. 32. 33.
Well, it's unusual for Ronnie, but he's not quite on the black as he wanted. So has to do a bit more with the cue ball here. But again, perfectly played.
40.
There really is no one else in the game that has cue
41.
ball control than Ronnie O'Sullivan, and it's part of the reason why his shot time is so fast is that he doesn't have to think. Whenever he gets down that shot, he's always in perfect position.
But also, Stephen, he has such a quick brain for working out
48.
shots, and that helps his rhythm. If you're a player that gets a bit confused in the
49.
positional play, and you have to stop to try and work things out, that can destroy your cueing rhythm easily. Speed it up off the cushion.
56.
He's over the line, but still like to knock this one in. Oh, hit that well.
57. Ronnie O'Sullivan, 57 on the frame.
Well, that missed blue, obviously it stops on the clearance, but a pretty solid performance in the first frame, and Ronnie takes it, leads 1-0.
The second frame, Michael Georgiou to break.
Michael Georgiou there, clearing the red away from the black. If you were thinking negatively as a player playing against Ronnie O'Sullivan, perhaps you'd go a bit scared to keep that black in the open. I'll try and tie it up. That would be bad thinking. There's no way Michael Georgiou is going to win without being positive today.
Choice of reds to left or right middle. Is he taking us to the far left corner? Won't leave anything. Should he miss it, it's a shot to nothing. No pressure really. A long way out. I think that's the thing with Ronnie these days. He's prepared to win with his B game and perhaps even the C game. I think there were times when the performance meant more than the result. I think just hearing him talking about targets and titles, it's all about the result now. He's prepared to scrap it, to win ugly. Doesn't do that very often, but he's prepared to do it.
Yeah, I think there's a mind shift to be able to do that. And if you can get pride out of, as you say, winning ugly, enjoy the challenge when it's not going to be a day that's fluent, and then you end up winning a match playing your B game, and you go back to the hotel room and you go, I'm really proud of that. I've done a workmanlike job there, instead of worrying about how it looked. Then you're an even stronger player.
Touching ball.
Yeah, there's an argument for thinking possibly players playing Ronnie in the past would think, well, hopefully I get a day where he gets frustrated. Well, those days don't come along anymore, so. It's really hard to say what sort of game plan Michael should have
Touching
today.
ball, both reds.
You know, at the end of the day, I think everyone, perhaps even himself, expects to lose this match. So it's just, how do you go about playing? Do you just try and enjoy it?
Do you want them with a long handle? Or
Well, the first thing is you have to play the balls, don't you? I mean, sometimes you just don't get the shots to attack, or sometimes you don't get the shots to defend. It's just how a game unfolds and how a frame unfolds. Especially when you get a couple of reds in the bottom half of the table, you're obligated to play safety to the top cushion. No players really like this type of game, but they're forced sometimes to do it.
Yeah, and whoever gets the first chance after this exchange, it's normally a good one because all the reds have been moved.
He wasn't playing to put the black safe. If that had been the plan, it was an awful plan, because he's not going to win playing negatively. He just overhit that shot. He was just trying to put the black back roughly on its spot.
touching ball.
Again, Ronnie not even looking at the red to right middle. He's showing his opponent the utmost respect. I think he's prepared to just wait it out and wait for his opponent to make the first mistake. And I think that's a pretty big one.
You couldn't have done more damage from a safety shot if you tried there, could you? I mean, it was a positive shot. You got the white ball nailed on where he wanted, but misread where the reds were going to end up.
Well, that was a nice little gap to find. It was actually not automatic position there because the blue didn't go to left middle. But he's found the gap. And as I said before, the first chance in these exchanges is normally a good one because the reds are everywhere. Just wait to see where Paul Collier is going to respot this brown. Looks like black. Not the worst result.
5.
No, if he uses the brown as the black ball to break build, the only difference is he won't be progressing points-wise as strongly. Need more reds to get over the line.
9. $14. $15.
Well, he is on the black if he wants, but that'll be leaving position to chance, which is something he very rarely does.
I feel like going into the pack off the blue is something that's strongly on his mind.
20.
If he's going to go into the red above the pink, as long as he doesn't hit it at the left-hand side as we look at it, which is what he didn't do. He had to go on the right-hand side and just overdid it.
25.
Yeah, he didn't want to get too much into the cue ball there. Not enough backspin to get on the far side. Ended up just getting a bit too far. Bit unlucky though to have got that
Ronnie O'Sullivan,
result.
25.
Assuming the red doesn't go into the middle pocket, does go into the corner. It wasn't particularly that much of a shot to nothing the way Michael Georgiou played it. It's quite tight into the middle. I think the corner's much more desirable here. Okay, well, Michael Georgiou's left with a long red into the green pocket. So far, on the long shots, he's missed to the left of the pocket.
Hit it pretty well, to be fair. I suppose you could say pace kept it out, but he didn't hit it that hard. dare say, Steve, that's something that both you and I are a bit jealous of, that being able to put balls like that left-handed.
Scary shot. Not just the fact that he hit it and got it in the pocket. The control of the striking left-handed. It's like, you know, you get used to hitting the ball with your right hand, but to do it with your left hand.
7.
I wonder if you can throw. You know, you try throwing with the wrong hand, you can't throw. You just look rubbish. I wonder if Ronnie O'Sullivan can throw with both hands like he can hit the ball.
9.
Incredible piece of skill to have in your armoury.
Although it has to be said, far more players now are starting their careers and practicing left-handed or opposite-handed.
I just hit the absolute perfect red there. Quite a little more pace than actually than I thought he was going to play it with, but it's still not red. Well, not one red gone safe.
$16.
Play that last positional shot disregarding where the
19.
pink was, because the pink wasn't so easy to get back on another red. So getting the right side of the blue,
20.
2 reds going to the right corner. One into the left.
$25.
Well, so far, Stephen, as you
26.
said at the top of the show, it's the Ronnie O'Sullivan show, but not just big breaks, also considered safety play as well, been patient and got his reward.
Yeah, I think Ronnie O'Sullivan, I think, has become almost, I think percentage
33.
players maybe makes him sound like a bit defensive, but he doesn't feel the need to take risks. I say
34.
his opponents are under so much pressure before they even come to the table. There's no need. He just plays his game, forces them into mistakes. I mean, most players he plays are beat before they even come on the table, it has to be said.
39.
Yeah, that's a big problem for a player coming to play against Ronnie O'Sullivan. Although Ronnie O'Sullivan didn't have it all his own way in the first round here, pre-TV stages. Played young Jackson Page from Wales, who
47.
lost 6-3 in the end. Don't think
Ronnie
Michael
O'Sullivan,
Georgiou will be coming back to the
47
table, so Ronnie O'Sullivan goes into an expected 2 frames to 0 lead.
Quietly as you can, please.
So Ronnie leads 2-0. His opponent, Michael Georgiou, yet to score a point. And looking at his body language, it looks... Well, it doesn't look full of confidence, you'd have to say, but you can't blame him. It's probably the toughest draw you could get.
Frame 3. Ronnie
Just get
O'Sullivan.
his hand on the table in amongst the reds and black. Just pot some easy balls. Just get some feeling back in that cue arm, because at the moment it must feel really tight. Once again, he's going to be left with a long red. And that red that's on the black cushion below the black is just stopping this being comfortable to get the cue ball back up towards the bulk end. Decent pot, as I said, that red was always going to be the problem, avoiding it, but I'll make him feel a bit better. His first point on the board, his first long pot. Now try and get this cue ball as tight in that bulk cushion as possible.
Michael Georgiou, 1.
Mishit that one. Quite a long way out there with the safety.
He very rarely plays a safety shot playing ball, does he? There's always some sort of side in the cue ball trying to manoeuvre angles. Very similar to Alex Higgins used to play like that, didn't he?
Oh, it's a type of shot you feel like you're going to take on, really, but you don't want to. No guarantee of positional play, so looks like Ronnie O'Sullivan's got away with that. Would you have gone for that red? It's hard to know. It didn't look good, the angle, but when your opponent makes any type of mistake these days, you want to try and pounce.
Again, that target behind green and brown. That's what Mike will be looking for with the cue ball. Just having to look to see if there's any plants, but not only that, but if he plays a safety, is he going to knock a red over that right corner pocket?
It does look to be some sort of plant on there into the right corner. Hit that pretty poorly as well. Far too thick. Well, that plant is on. Some sort of stupid 4-ball plant looks sort of possible. There's 4 balls in a line. Not now. Oh, has that red poked its nose out? No.
This is dangerous. It's going to hit this one right.
Well, it looked like he got the right line there, but vastly overhit the shot. Whether that was a big cushion bounce or just a bit of tension in the arm. It's not looking that good for Michael Georgiou at the moment. Nowhere near settling down in this match.
63. Four. Nine.
I suppose the only thing Ronnie Sullivan's got to guard against today is complacency. He's obviously not been put under any
10.
pressure, and sometimes your concentration can be affected. But he still looks very focused. And I think that's something else that Ronnie does better than most top players. Even when he's playing players that he's expected to beat easily, he still looks focused in the job.
16.
I just face
17.
it. It's always nice to have things your own way, have the table to yourself, dominate things. And Ronnie O'Sullivan, as a great champion, also has the ability to be a great bully.
Twenty-two. 23.
He's got a choice of 3 reds that go to the left corner. No need to get the black into play.
28.
Not easy to continue this break for a while.
29.
Bit of resolving to be done. Quite a clever shot there to get on that pink. Could disturb a few reds. Struck that nicely. Perhaps too nicely.
I enjoy
35.
watching these breaks, Ronnie
Yeah.
Sullivan, better than when they're straightforward.
Yeah.
He's got to work everything out. This colour's safe. All the reds block each other.
But this is where he makes it so easy.
36.
And also, he has great touch, and you find he very rarely gets the wrong side of a ball. That's his strength.
$41. 42. 48. 49. 55. 56.
'Used every bit of the
62.
pocket there. Thought for a minute there was possibility that was going to miss.
63.
Well, that's not right. Very wide on that pink. Still expecting to get it.
$69. Okay. Ronnie
Michael
O'Sullivan,
Georgiou
69 on the
concedes.
frame.
Break of 6 to 9. Ronnie O'Sullivan gives him the third frame. It's been pretty easy so far. It leads Michael Georgiou 3-0.
I thought possibly.
Quietly as possible, please. Okay. Frame 4. Michael Georgiou to break.
Yes, I was saying I thought possibly, but it was so long ago
Turn that
now, I've
off,
forgotten
please.
what I thought. Michael Georgiou's not potted many balls, and at the end of that last frame, he could have got his cue on going, potting a few. That's a knife wound to Michael Georgiou.
Well, there's
8.
a possible red to left middle, possibly not. Does red go to the far left corner?
It was a great attempt to make something happen there off a quite a tight pack.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 8.
Well, Ronnie had a little look there. I don't think he's left a red to right middle.
If he has, it's a sort of tactical mistake in a way. He's played it as a shot to nothing. Well, every bit of stalemate. The balls are here. He doesn't want to be tip-tapping around, but there's no alternative. Ronnie O'Sullivan's very clever at stopping stalemates, usually. Works out some clever shots. Could send the cue ball down into the jaws of the yellow pocket. But spotted a nice place there on a cushion that does no damage whatsoever. And that is the end of the stalemate. Oh my goodness. Marvellous pot. OK, he's not perfectly on the black, but you'd expect him to cut this back. He's had most of the table time today. No. First mistake. Has he left anything easy for Michael Georgiou?
Ronnie O'Sullivan 1.
Well, he's got a red to the far left corner, but it's not the easy opportunity he would have liked, especially he's digging down in the cue ball. Nothing to do, just concentrate on the pot. Well done. Yeah. The problems haven't ended, as you can see, because he has to get the cue ball out from that pocket, and obviously bridging over this red. Hitting hope into the 6 reds.
Oh, he's on nothing, I think. Perhaps caught it a fraction thick, the black, or didn't hit it hard enough. I think your choice of shot, half ball black, was the better option, Stephen. That shot wouldn't have relied on perfect weight. This is a tough cutback shot. But the problems don't stop. Awkward cueing.
Yeah, one good pot, the rest in the green here, and it's a decent opportunity in this 4th frame for Michael Georgiou. Round the back of the brown. But he's just under so much pressure every time he comes to the table.
Michael Georgiou.
He's not had many scoring chances, but he's just a bit overawed out there.
That was a long way out. It appeared like he got some left-hand spin on the ball and pushed the cue ball into the green.
1.
Didn't play that one correctly, but still a chance of the black, similar to the one he had angle-wise before. He missed it to the far jaw. Can he compensate?
Ronnie O'Sullivan 1.
Oh, that's another black of a spot, but he's very, very lucky there, Ronnie. I mean, Michael comes to the table, he's entitled to think he might have an easy red to start with.
But you make your own problems, because that shot when the black was over the pocket, Stephen, you know, going into the reds was a more positive way, I think, of going about it, opening it up, trying to make something work.
Yes, the balls don't forgive you if you don't play the right shot. He's kind of forced into that one, and I think he's left it.
5.
And Ken Doherty
6.
was saying before, Steve, about just go out and enjoy it. I don't think he's enjoying it. Michael Georgiou.
You can't enjoy it. You're not doing yourself justice out there on the table. You feel like you're not competing. It's an awful feeling. And as you mentioned earlier, Stephen, about the different Ronnie O'Sullivan we see
11.
these days. In the past, it's been about his performance and not getting over the line winning. And sometimes in a match like this, when he's missed 2
12.
blacks off the spot, he'd have been beating himself up. He doesn't do that now.
Oh, I mean, he shows frustration as we see when he missed a black, but it's straight out of his mind, and it's, as I say, it's about the result. Again, you see he's not happy, and that little fraction
80.
out of position.
$90.
But this match has long since been a contest. It's long gone.
$24.
Yeah, currently this is
25.
a bread and butter performance for Ronnie O'Sullivan, to be as clinical as possible, get into the next round. Save the major accolades for the latter rounds. All about getting into the final and enjoying the final.
30. $31.
Commentary box here, Stephen's laughing at me over that remark, but surely it's all about getting to the final.
Yeah, I agree. As I said at the top of the show, big shock yesterday. Mark Selby,
37.
possibly one of only 2 or 3 players in the game that Ronnie really respects that can beat him, as he misses that red along the cushion.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 37.
He's gone out, so Ronnie has become the strong favourite to win this UK Championship.
Well, we've seen a few balls recently hit the near jaw and drop in. Players have been saying they feel that the corner pocket's playing a bit too easy, and that particular one, Ronnie expected it to drop. Tried to shift those 2 reds away from the black there,
1.
and actually didn't really hit it the right pace. Let's just see that shot of Ronnie's again. Well, the vast majority of shots that Michael Georgiou's missed
Georgiou
today have missed to the left of a pocket. He'll know that as much as we can see in the commentary box. So somehow he's putting, inadvertently putting side spin on the cue ball, going across the face from the middle when he hits the ball.
Yeah, his right hand on the cue is just gripping it so tightly, I think. It's not flowing at all, his cue action. He's not getting through the ball. And it's all due to the fact that he's just out of his comfort zone out there, unfortunately.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 1.
And that's what I was talking about earlier. Guarding against just losing your concentration because things are too easy. That's Ronnie's biggest enemy today.
didn't expect Ronnie O'Sullivan to lose his grip on forging ahead, but he has left the door ajar for Michael Georgiou. But you get the feeling it's not going to happen for him. This is a tough shot. He had to play that slow, that shot, otherwise there was a possibility of going into an area of the table where he wasn't on the colour. That's a great safety shot from Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Shot of the afternoon so far, I think. That one. Really just a trace on the left-hand side to widen the angle of the cue ball. Made it look very easy.
In trouble here as well. Two cushions, got to get this right. Pace and line have to be perfect. Can't argue that. He could, however, be in some trouble now. Got an automatic escape off the left-hand side cushion for the red on the right of the table. But he's got to try and keep the ball safe as well. So if he does choose across the table, what he's hoping for is not a full ball contact. So does he decide to try and hit one side of the red or the other, or trust to a bit of luck? Or other options there? Perhaps the red in the middle of the table with a bit of side spin.
Foul. And a miss. Ronnie O'Sullivan, 4.
Not the right amount of side spin. Can't afford to miss again, otherwise you'll require snookers.
Michael, Ronnie.
So nothing to do with the cue ball here, just make sure you pot the red because you're automatically going to be on the pink. Oh, 1. I beg your pardon, he needs 2 blacks. And a yellow wouldn't be a bad thing. Decent angle to get back for the black again.
8.
Yeah, good and bad. Yellow goes safe. But more interested in getting another black off this red. Oh, it's once again. Sorry to keep on going on about it, Michael. Missed to the left of the
Foul.
pocket.
Michael Georgiou 8, Ronnie O'Sullivan 4.
So you can tell yourself that's unlucky, but you shouldn't have been missing the red in the first place. Well, that's the end of the frame.
8.
Ronnie O'Sullivan will be going into a 4-0 lead and looking very comfortable.
Ronnie O'Sullivan 8 and the frame.
There's the concession. 4-0, Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Well, Hazel, we've tried not to stray into each other's expertise areas too much.
Frame 5. Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
Game's not as simple as that, is it? That trademark left-handed break-off from Ronnie O'Sullivan. He won't be particularly happy with that. I think Ronnie feels he can swing the cue ball round better from the left-handed perspective than right, but in that case, after the mid-session interval, called it wrong.
1.
Nice pot. And for the first time in this match, Michael Georgiou has got the chance to put a black off the spot. First in this frame, what can he make of it? You'd have to say straight into the bunch at pace, plenty of screw back to bring the cue ball back to the right hand side of the table. Very well played. Deserves to be on a red. Hit that very well.
He scored 19 points in the first 4 frames. May not be too long before he's doubling his overall total score.
Already, I know he can screw back this black and play for a red to the right middle, but if he was low in the black, he could go into that remaining bunch and leave a red to right corner. But he's still in good position.
16. Sure. 17.
So already out of position, and it's just the art of break building, really. You're recognizing the patterns that you need to go through to make it easier. Should be able to screw this off 2 cushions for the red that's next to the rest, to the right corner. Well done.
I didn't think that was going in. The ball finally gave up, gravity working. Good shot, good recovery.
25.
And the angle he's got here lends itself to going into the pink. Be trusting to luck a bit. It's a bit perhaps too far away from the blue to make it comfortable, but there are loose reds though. Choices.
Yeah, I think as long as he hit the right hand side of the pink as we look at the table, anything
30.
left of the pink would have been bad. He'd have been very unlucky not to be on one going that way.
31.
Tip very close to the cue ball in address. Thought he may have gone on and off the cushion there. He could have got closer to these two reds.
38.
Can play for blue, pink or black off this red.
Well, he's got himself out of position by fractions a few times in this break. Just enough the right side of the blue.
44.
Have been a couple of potential banana skins in this break so far, but some good pots.
45.
Still has that 6-ball pack to resolve to get past the winning line.
Yeah, he would have liked to have had an angle in the black to be able to go into the bunch and stay on that red to right corner. Can't do that now from this angle. It's always nice to have a bit of insurance to have at least one loose red when you go into the bunch.
Michael Georgiou just coming round to check if the pink was a viable proposition to open up the pack. Decided the black was
53.
more straightforward, and this time he has a bit of pace into this one that can make the pot more difficult.
60.
Well, just
Michael
when you thought
Georgiou,
he'd done all the
60.
hard work. Unfortunate end. There's a good break of 60. Is it going to be enough? Plenty of reds left for Ronnie O'Sullivan to pinch this frame. Something he's normally very good at.
It's a second ball that's been very, very close to going into the middle pocket, but they're pretty tight, these middles.
One.
So black and one more red.
Eight.
Showing signs, Stephen, of just forgetting about the situation and just letting his game play. Looks a bit more comfortable now, as if he's sort of less pressure on him now, and he's decided to just try and relax and enjoy it a bit more, and that's the way to get back into this game.
He'd like to put one more red. Ronnie O'Sullivan may
60.
come back to the table if he misses this. Yeah, I suppose he's done the first job. The interval decide, avoid the whitewash. Will Ronnie stay in his seat?
Michael Georgiou, 16. And the frame.
He does do. So Michael Georgiou does avoid the 6-0 whitewash. Nice break of 60. Was the important factor in winning his first frame, but he still trails 4-1.
Frame 6, Michael Georgiou to break.
Well, of course, when John and Ken talking about the cubicle style snooker with multi-table setups, it has changed slightly in as much as more an open plan now. You can actually see other tables. But when it's a multi-table setup at one of the ranking events in the early stages, it's still that cubicle style feel, but your match is one of many and no real eyes on it. So this is a different scenario here at the Barbican. Full packed crowd watching Ronnie O'Sullivan, and you've got to deal with that as well.
Ronnie's definitely, the intensity of his concentration has definitely slipped in the last 2 or 3 frames. The standards he sets are so high that you just don't expect him to miss shots like that.
Yeah, perhaps overstretching a bit. Michael Georgiou's got a bit of an awkward position with the green in his left arm, but that goes in.
1.
Would have loved to have been the correct side of the blue. But Michael Georgiou is getting some encouragement from Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Six.
Well, he's been very unlucky there. That was an excellent positional shot Michael played. There's possibly 3 reds that he could have been on, and I think he's on none of them.
That's desperately unlucky. Hit that blue
6.
about as well as he could possibly have hit it. Good safety, but there's an edge sticking out. Got the possibilities of a 4 cushion safety. Come down behind the yellow. He's playing the thin Safety hit it a bit hard. Nasty shot for Ronnie O'Sullivan from underneath the cushion. Makes this shot a lot harder.
Well, look at that red if he's thinking of taking this on. This needs good cueing.
Well, he's done very well with the cue ball. Just as he was playing that shot, something fluttered down from the ceiling. May have distracted him.
Not really seen much of Ronnie O'Sullivan's long game, long potting today. Pretty much everything he's done has been close in, so it's an opportunity to see.
I'd say he's committing himself. All the eggs going in the basket here. Oh, he found a gap. Wow. Didn't think that was on. One. So there was an element of safety in the shot as a shot to nothing. Didn't think he could get through that gap. Oh. Just run away with it there. The cue ball's gone a little bit too far.
6.
Yeah, when Ronnie was playing the blue, you seen him. He was down in the shot. He looked to see what to cue while he was down in the shot. Usually, you tell players not to do that. Get up again and then think what you're going to play. That's why you just let that cue ball run an extra bit.
7.
Could be end of break.
It does look like there is a red that goes past the black. If he just gets the correct place and he's left-handed, he may be able to reach over and cut this in. Half ball cut.
5.
Doesn't feel it with a left hand for that shot. Perhaps it's too much of a stretch. Fantastic shot. And for somebody like
13.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, who can play right-handed, left-handed, you know, on a daily practice basis, he wouldn't necessarily be using the wrist that much, so could be considered to become fearful of it, but he's a great wrist player. Is he going into the pack here? With speed, misjudged it by quite a way, and that is end of break.
16. Ronnie O'Sullivan, 16.
decent safety shot in many ways. Cut off escape routes back down the table and may have forced Ronnie O'Sullivan to go for this pot with no guarantee of position. So a bad risk-reward proposition coming up. Oh, I thought that was in. Well, a chance. Michael Georgiou looks like an easy one into the left corner and guaranteed position on the black. That was a bit straighter than I thought, but even so, poor miss.
Yeah, just when he was getting some slight signs of encouragement, he's won a frame. Ronnie's started to miss a couple.
One. Eight. Nine. Sixteen. 17. 24. 25.
'Poor shot. I think the poor shot was landing with that angle on the black. He was forced
32.
into playing a cannon and wanted to hit that red half ball. Hit it full in the face. You can still pot this, but it's become missable.
$33.
Would have been unlucky to have not been on a colour. There's enough loose
37.
reds around to
38.
get past the winning post here. Yeah, from Michael Georgiou's perspective, he can't have any complaints. He hasn't been strong
43.
enough today so far.
44. 49. 50. 57. 58. 63. 64.
Oh, what a shot. Okay. Oh, just fantastic.
68.
Made it a bit easier because the frame was finished, but Well, whilst it hasn't been a sparkling
Ronnie
performance
O'Sullivan,
from Ronnie
68
O'Sullivan
on the
today,
frame.
it's been a very comfortable day at the office for him. 5-1, Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Quietly as you can, please. Frame 7. Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
Yeah, well, records are there to be broken. There are a few that you don't think are going to happen. I think perhaps adding to that point about the amount of century breaks, possibly Judd Trump's best placed. But it does depend on how long you can stay at the top of the game.
Oh, this is horrible. Well, I said at the start of this match that the first and the last frames are when Ronnie O'Sullivan's at his strongest. As he does get his focus together to win this frame and match at this visit. And which way I'd be betting. So good at killing a match off.
Asking for trouble there, aren't you?
6.
Go on then, Steve. I'll bet you a £1 he wins the match at this visit. It's amazing. A lot of players, if you see them when the frame to win the match, they sort of go into their shell a bit. Right, exactly the opposite.
13.
You can smell the opportunity to get the job done. One more easy red, and then it'll be how to open the bunch of reds up.
I think I'm going to have that bet with you just to see the look on your face when you have to pull a pound out.
18.
So high in the black.
90.
Top spin. A touch of left hand side to watch the cue ball arc into the bunch. Didn't go in it with as much conviction as I thought he would. Has got a red to the far left corner.
26.
Might take a shot to that pocket in this match, but no problem there.
Just give me a second.
Now let's see where the pink's going to go. If it goes underneath the pack, there's possibly another red that'll go to left corner. Yeah, the red is on the pink spot. So this is starting to look ominous for Michael Georgiou.
Yeah, I think you might have won yourself £1 here.
33. $34.
Great pace to get the right side of the blue. Very good at that shot. Getting that perfect angle on the blue a significant amount of time when you
39.
play it can make the game very easy.
40.
Yeah, it's amazing the amount of breaks you see end, isn't it? A lot of the players where they just keep getting wrong side of the blue.
Yeah, it's an interesting ball, the blue. It's like a friend of a snooker
45.
player, but it can also be the enemy.
This is the last of the potable reds that's in the middle of the table. So looking for some sort of angle on the black from this.
46.
Just go into the two reds to the right of the pink. Go into those with a bit of pace. That'll do.
53. $54.
No century made so far. Can this be the way he's going to finish this match?
59. $60.
14 seconds a shot. It's pretty brisk.
67.
Match ball. £1 from Steve Davis.
68.
Michael's
74.
afternoon of suffering out in this main arena has been put to an end now.
75.
Can you change a fiver? I can't find it.
82. Ronnie O'Sullivan,
handshake
82.
comes. A very easy victory for Ronnie O'Sullivan. Neither player will be happy with their games, but it was all about the win today for